Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most ridiculously powerful Disney characters. While we won't include live action, there will be spoilers.
You're behind this?
You're correct, sir.
Number 20. Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Sure, any enchantress who can transform a prince into a chimera and a castle full of servants into ornaments is on a whole other power spectrum. But if we focus on featured characters, then Beast's presence is unmatched.
I thought I told you to come down to dinner.
I'm not hungry.
You'll come out or I'll break down the door.
Don't tell Gaston, but there's no amount of eggs he can eat that'll get him up to the Beast's might. Even to his own detriment, the Beast is a hulking, savage creature that'd be the apex predator in any ecosystem. This is only compounded by his fiery temper and misanthropic disposition, which only makes his emotional transformation over the course of the film that much more meaningful. Number 19. Jack Skellington, The Nightmare Before Christmas. You wouldn't think it by looking at him, but this ooky spooky Halloween icon has more than a few tricks up his pinstripe sleeves. Being undead certainly has its perks, one of which is the ability to dismember and reattach body parts at a moment's notice. This makes him nearly invincible, and though he's incredibly scrawny and lacks muscles and organic tissue, that doesn't stop him from pulling off great feats of strength and agility. While there's a host of terrifying nightmares in Halloween Town, we can see why Jack is the Pumpkin King.
That's right. I am the Pumpkin King. And I just can't wait until next Halloween, 'cause I've got some new ideas that will really make them scream.
Number 18. Rapunzel, Tangled. For a shut-in, Rapunzel is surprisingly quite the match, and a lot of it has to do with, you guessed it, her hair.
Flower, gleam and glow. Let your power shine. Make the clock reverse. Bring back what once was mine.
Having inherited the powers of the magical flower, Rapunzel is able to heal wounds and even reverse aging. Not a lot of Disney princesses can say that. The power uses her hair as a conduit, hence why she hasn't had a trim her whole life. But when it comes to physicality, you'd be surprised how much of a wallop this blondie punches. Whereas some of us struggle to even make our hair presentable, Rapunzel is a full-on hair ninja. Sure, she gets a new look by the film's end, but she proves that her real strength comes from within. Number 17. Dr. Facilier, The Princess and the Frog.
I got voodoo, I got hoodoo, I got things I ain't even tried. And I got friends on the other side.
He's got friends on the other side.
When Disney released The Princess and the Frog in 2009, they pulled out the big guns in creating the evil voodoo witch doctor, Facilier.
Gentlemen, enchanté.
Commonly known as the Shadow Man, Dr. Facilier's charismatic presence in the city of New Orleans brings about his reputation as a man not to be trifled with, which is a pretty fair assumption to make, as he has the ability to transform people into amphibians as well as cast evil spells, with a little help from his quote, friends on the other side. However, it is Dr. Facilier's belief that money, and not magic, is the root of all power that makes him one dastardly purveyor of the dark arts.
Now you're gonna spend the rest of your life being a slimy little frog.
Number 16. The Evil Queen, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Even Disney's first full-length feature wasn't wanting for OP characters. The Evil Queen, as she's best known, infamously gives Snow White a poisoned apple. But her powers don't end at her ability to enchant fruit. She's so skilled at potion brewing that she essentially has the ability to create seamless glamour, disguising herself as a wicked hag to get her way. But let's go back to a moment in her potion-making process.
Blast of wind to fan my hate. A thunderbolt to mix it well.
She's able to conjure strong gusts of wind and lightning at a moment's notice, essentially making her Storm from the X-Men. That's to say nothing of her magic mirror, which is like the world's most powerful smartphone when our common folk didn't even have radio.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty.
Number 15. Merlin, the sword in the stone.
My magic is used mainly for educational purposes.
It can never hurt to have an all-powerful wizard on your side. Such is the case for a young King Arthur when Merlin takes up the responsibility of being his tutor. While Merlin may have immense clairvoyance and foresight in helping Arthur become the once and future king, he sure does make up for it with his clumsy behavior and general absent-mindedness. Despite these challenges, Merlin is indeed a powerful being, able to metamorphose into just about any creature, and bend the rules of space and time in order to go on vacations to Bermuda hundreds of years before the territory's discovery. Just don't ask him what he thinks about the place when he gets back.
One big modern mess. Alakazam!
Number 14. Ursula, the Little Mermaid.
And I fortunately knew a little magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed.
A favorite among many Disney fans, the devilishly charming Ursula sachets her way into presenting herself as the devil in disguise. While her magical abilities extend to transforming the quote, poor unfortunate souls who seek her guidance into shriveled up polyps, she gradually works her way up to the ranks to rule the oceans themselves. Sure, she needs Triton's immense power to get there, but we can't fault her for ambition.
Yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole, I've been a saint. To those poor unfortunate souls.
Along with an excellent musical sales pitch, Ursula's true power lies in her smooth talking, which gives her an advantage over pretty much anyone she wants to usurp for her own means.
Now, do we have a deal?
Number 13. Cheshire Cat, Alice in Wonderland. Wonderland is quite the crazy place, with very little rhyme or reason, so the prospect of a purple striped cat being its strongest denizen isn't as far-fetched as it seems.
Why, you're a cat.
A Cheshire Cat.
This chaotic neutral feline is deceptively powerful, and he'll show off all his mojo with quite the smile. And in some cases, a smile will be all you see, as the Cheshire Cat has the gift of selective invisibility. Not only that, but he can also list shape-shifting on his already impressive resume. When you consider the fact that the Cheshire Cat is seemingly omnipresent, he suddenly becomes much more godlike. With such low stakes for him, we can see why he's more concerned with his own amusement.
You may have noticed that I'm not all there myself. And the more us outbreak.
Number 12. Maui, Moana. Sure, Te aka Taka commands more might, but as long as we're talking fully fleshed out characters, it's gotta be Maui.
Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea, I am Moana,
Hero of men.
This wisecracking demigod isn't to be messed with. Armed with super strength, a magical fishing hook that grants him the power of shapeshifting, and a perfect understanding of sailing, Maui proves to be a strong-minded, if not passive-aggressive partner to help Moana return the heart of Te Fiti back to its rightful owner.
Can't you shapeshift or something?
Do you see my hook? No magic hook, no magic powers.
As perfect as Maui may seem, his backstory involving a fall from grace and the need to redeem himself give him an incredible sense of power in overcoming his shortcomings. Although sometimes he takes a little extra convincing from his sentient tattoos, or the odd blow dart to the butt.
Really? Blow dart in my butt cheek.
Number 11. The Jerrys, Soul.
Who are you?
I am the coming together of all quantized fields of the universe, appearing in a form your feeble human brain can comprehend.
What?
You can call me Jerry.
On the one hand, what does one expect from the manifestations of all the energies of the universe? On the other hand, if we ended up dead and back in the great before like Joe, we'd be more than a little intimidated by their far-reaching power. We don't even know the full scope of these helpful beings, all of whom are named Jerry, as they're essentially distilled into abstract humanoids we can comprehend on only a base level. They can shapeshift with virtually no laws of matter restricting them, and can even open doorways to any section of the universe on a whim. If there is a great before and beyond, we hope it's got plenty of Jerrys. Number 10. The Blue Fairy, Pinocchio.
Prove yourself brave, truthful, and unselfish, and someday you will be a real boy.
Although she features very briefly in the classic early Disney film Pinocchio, the The Blue Fairy is one of the first magical beings to ever enter the Disneyverse. Sweet in her demeanor and genuinely helpful, the Blue Fairy dazzles her subjects with powers of enchantment and magic, chief among them the ability to regulate life and death.
And always let your conscience be your guide.
Among her biggest accomplishments is her transforming an inanimate puppet into a walking, talking being. With compassion being her strongest suit, the Blue Fairy goes the extra mile in granting Pinocchio actual life, turning him into the real boy he strives to be.
And someday you will be a real boy. Awake, Pinocchio.
And while we're here, we might as well give a special shout out to the conceptually similar fairy godmother. Number 9. Ming Lee Turning Red. We like to think there's a powerful beast within us all that can be unlocked with the right emotional awareness. But May's mom Ming takes this to a whole other level.
Ming! Where are you?
The women in May's family all have the ability to transform into giant red pandas when under emotional duress, but each have trapped the spirits in talismans. When May refuses to do so and flees to a boy band concert, she inadvertently breaks Ming's talisman. Whereas May's panda is about 10 feet tall, Ming's is a freaking kaiju. She goes on a maternal rampage and interrupts the concert, forcing the family to intervene and save the day. Good thing too, otherwise the city of Toronto would have a giant problem on its hands.
Everyone, go home! Where are your parents? Put some clothes on!
Number 8. Penelope Vanellope's Wreck-It Ralph franchise. The titular Ralph may be the villain of his own game and a force of brute strength, but this candy-coated racer has the ability to leave all her competitors in the pixie dust. The flagship princess of the Sugar Rush arcade game, Penelope has the tragic backstory of being usurped from her throne when the villainous Turbo tried to delete her code. He failed, but Penelope was turned into a glitch whereby she phases in and out of the physical game space.
Yeah, well, King Candy says glitches can't race. I'm not a glitch, Taffeta. I've just got pixlexia, okay?
Rather than let this ostracize her, Penelope eventually comes to embrace her essential superpower and reclaim her identity and the top spot on the podium.
Come on, this isn't me. This is me. Look, the code may say I'm a princess, but I know who I really am, Ralph. I'm a racer with the greatest superpower ever. I was here. I was there. I was glitching through the walls. I'm not giving that up.
Number 7. Stitch. Lilo and Stitch. Experiment 626, aka Stitch, may just be one of many genetic experiments, but if you ask us, this adorable little psychopath is the most powerful of them all. You wouldn't think much just looking at him, except that he's the weirdest alien dog you've ever seen. But even at his diminutive size, Stitch is incredibly strong. Throw in his seeming indestructibility, and he might as well be a tiny Superman. It might honestly be easier to list the abilities he doesn't have, as he can also climb walls, has superhuman agility and reflexes, and enhanced senses. Heck, he can even turn into a living speaker system.
We can go on together with suspicious minds.
Stitch really is the whole package. Number 6. Elsa, Frozen franchise.
Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky.
While having phenomenal powers can be a huge asset, not being able to control those powers makes things a little more difficult. Such is the early life of Elsa, once outcast queen of Arendelle. Traumatized as a child, after her ability to harness the cold and ice injures her younger sister Anna, Elsa's story is one of caution, in opposition to most magically endowed characters in Disney's history.
Thank you. I never knew what I was capable of.
However, all her suppressed power sends the kingdom into a perpetual winter state, leading Elsa to live in isolation. On the brighter side, Elsa also has the power to create life, as seen in her creation of the sentient snowman Olaf.
No, I'm not leaving without you, Elsa.
Yes, you are.
Number 5. Jack Jack, The Incredibles franchise. While superpowers definitely run in the family, Violet and Dash, relatively speaking, got the short end of the genetic stick.
Okay, so he can still hear you
From the other dimension, yeah.
That is freaky, and that's not
Not like our other kids. No, it is not.
While still only a baby, Jack has already unlocked more abilities than he can try to count on his tiny fingers and toes. Let's just run down the list. He can alter his physical property, taking on forms such as metal, smoke, and water. He can teleport, he can pass through walls, he has telekinesis, laser vision, electrokinesis, invulnerability, he can crawl on the walls, and even duplicate himself. And those are just the powers he has so far. Who knows what ability might sprout up next? We don't even want to know what his body might go through when he hits puberty.
I missed Jack's first power!
Actually, you missed the first 17.
Number 4. Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise.
In contrast to the 3 good fairies, Sleeping Beauty's Maleficent proves to be one of the darkest Disney witches to ever grace the screen. An incarnation of pure evil, the jealous and dangerously powerful Maleficent can harness the abilities of teleportation and hypnosis, the latter of which she uses to her advantage in cursing and nearly killing the Princess Aurora.
Touch the spindle. Touch it, I say.
Her powers are given full steam at the end of the classic Disney film, as she takes the form of a fire-breathing dragon to clash with Prince Philip. With an iconic appearance, Maleficent has since become one of the most recognizable Disney villains, even earning herself live-action spin-off movies starring Angelina Jolie. Number 3. Hades, Hercules.
What are those?
Not only is he one of the more hilarious Disney villains, the fast-talking and sarcastic Hades also is quite the nefarious thorn in Zeus's side. He uses his underworld powers for usurping the throne of Olympus in order to rule the cosmos. On top of being an immortal deity, Hades can control fire and smoke, as well as teleport to anywhere he pleases. Hades is also another one of those silver-tongued malefactors who can use the power of words to get what they want.
Hear that sound? It's the sound of your freedom, fluttering out the window forever.
Interestingly enough, Hades proves to be the ultimate match for his brother Zeus, who he manages to overpower until his also powerful nephew Hercules comes to save the day.
This ought to even the odds!
Number 2. Chernabog, Fantasia. You can't go wrong with the devil himself. Closing the instrumental feature film Fantasia in the Night on Bald Mountain segment, Chernabog is seen conjuring up evil spirits and the undead from the ground on one dark night. Tossing his victims into hellish flames with an iconic evil grin on his face, Chernabog is representative of a real Slavic deity, which Walt Disney referred to as Satan himself. Sure enough, this evil being of nearly limitless power can only be brought down by the morning sunrise. Also featured in this film is the mystical sorcerer Yen Sid, who, in a fitting meta-tribute to Fantasia's creator, serves as an anagram for the name Disney. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Genie, Aladdin.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
He says it best. We could never have a better friend than the lovable Genie. Chief among Disney's superpowered beings, Genie's way over-the-top antics and ability to make nearly everybody laugh, except maybe the also powerful Jafar, made him an instantly iconic presence in the Disney canon. Topped up with, quote, phenomenal cosmic powers, the Genie has the ability to grant his master 3 wishes, making for nearly endless possibilities.
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
He also has a knack for making whimsical anachronisms centuries ahead of his time, such as turning poor Abu into a car, referencing the Ed Sullivan Show, and showcasing electrical lights. all about 1,000 years before they existed, making Genie the most oddly powerful being in the Disneyverse.
Right here, direct from the lamp, right here for your very much wish fulfillment. Thank you.
Whoa.
Which powerful Disney character would you want to have on speed dial? Make your case down in the comments below.
You're vile, you're foul, you're flawed!
Oh, so cute and fluffy!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.